Hi, Javier. Giza. Hey, Gildy. Oh boy. Hi, Bruce. Hanging out on the patio with a cigar and some JWB. Now that sounds like a plan. You know what? I have these on and I don't need them. I don't have anybody here. Um, let's see what's going on. We got a lot of interesting stuff that sort of happened, not involving, unfortunately, the one of the main things, but some other stuff. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Um, Hi, Eddie. And let's see. Oh, good. Okay. Well, okay. Let's see. Hi, Howdy. And there's poor Mark in the corner. what, what are you doing? Hey, Stuart. Hi, Brendan. And that's something. Hello. Okay. Couple things. Did any of you go to that live sort of discussion that Edward Mela had, the CEO from Moser? They had one this afternoon, or well, it was about 11 o'clock Eastern time, and it was I think around 5 o'clock Central European time. So it was about I think they were like GMT plus one, something like that. So it was uh, New York time. It was about 11 o'clock, and earlier, further west. So anyhow, no, Mark, Mark's not standing off in the quarter. Oh boy, poor Mark. Let's see. Here's some things. Miss Samela on Q&A, and um, just wanted to make it easy. Come on, Mark. But you did. Okay, let's see. Hi, dog. Well, anyway, one of the things that came up was that he's talked about having a lot more collaborations. Another thing he said that surprised me in a good way was that I had mentioned a number of times while Moser has sells about maybe 1,200, 2,000 watches a year, somewhere in that range. They had around 30 or 40,000 hairsprings that they sell to all of the independents. Well, now apparently it's up to over 100,000. So that's a major jump in that. So that becomes a very important part of their business. The other part I thought that was interesting was the collaborations. They have one that they're doing with MB&F, and another one. I think they said something else with Agenor. I had asked about if they're going to do any more with Agenor. There are a lot of people asking questions, and it was going back and forth. Hey Val, hey Dwayne, hey Kaz, and so the one watch that he had on was the Streamliner, which of course has the movement by Agenor, and so these are some of the things that were sort of going on. Hi, GMT Master. And I think that it's important, a couple of things that sort of came out of that. When you start seeing collaborations, I think a lot of things happen. One, I really do think a good collaboration where companies like Moser and I say MB&F or Agenor, they take their strong suits to the collaboration, and so it's I think Moser has a unique and a lot going in its design side that is uniquely Moser. A lot of other ones, you look at a watch by some companies and they look like 10 others. Now Moser does have a unique identity, and a few other ones do too. So I thought that was interesting. And the other part was see, this had come up earlier, is that they said that they're operating their service department at about 50% because, people are out, avoiding the COVID-19. So this is sort of an interesting view of how, and some people were there and some people weren't. Mark I don't know if Mark's going to come today. He was really busy with something in his work, but he asked me to ask him if I could find out about when his he has a Henry double hairspring, and he wanted to know if I could find out, when that might be ready. Like, oh yeah, ask the CEO. And what happened though was really interesting. That they almost as soon as I asked that question, I got a response, not from Milan, but from Nicholas. What's his name? Anyway, from Nicholas, who was Hoffman, I think, Nicholas Hoffman. He said, if you send me your the serial number, I'll tell you where it is in the queue. And so I thought it was like, okay, he's the guy to ask, and he's got the right answer. So that was sort of cool. Okay, let's see. Yeah, we're waiting on the cost. We're still waiting for them. Here's my plan. If I don't hear from them tomorrow is Thursday, I'll send them a note Thursday night, which will be, I always like to try to get them before the weekend, and they're gone for, and so that'll be the first thing on Friday that he gets, and ask him, what's going on, and if there's any kind of information they can give us. And one of the other things, we were having some fun with a dial that Eddie did with a bunch of goats and stuff on it, and everyone was sort of playing around with that. And that was fine. But then I realized there was I was hoping that, well, what if they take a visit to our site and they see all of it? We look like a bunch of, a little silly, and so, do you want to invest your time with a bunch of people who aren't serious about getting a movement or anything else and doing business with you? And so I thought, well, maybe we better take that down, at least until we find out. But it was Eddie had put it together, and people were having fun with it. But I thought, well, okay, let's wait until we get some feedback. Some other stuff, I finally got this that came up. Got a lot of interesting stuff with movements. The Tonus, I think, Tonius, something like that. He came up with a really interesting dial for us. I think the little the sawtooth on it is some shadowing that it didn't quite turn out the way he hoped. Either that or what it looks like in black and white. But I thought it was a really, very interesting thing. So I got a hold of the guy and I said, wow, this is really good. He said, well, he designs it professionally. He's a professional dial designer. And I told him, I said, I really like the way this thing looks, but maybe, what do you think it would be like with a cream-colored enamel dial? Because we had talked about doing that. No, all right. And I said, where's Bruce? For Bruce's sake, I said, and with a brigade hand, if you have it. Hey, Williams, watch this. So anyway, that was a couple things. So we're getting some really interesting dial designs, and as a result, I really, really hope we get that the Agenor movement. Hey, level 11, and this was one going back. This was a poster that was done using the what's it called? The DC at the something else, the hour here and the hour there. But this is essentially what this is sort of the origin. if I turn it like this, and then imagine this, the 3 dropping down here, or the 8 dropping down there, and the other one disappearing, is that the reason that I use this as a model, sort of, is that saying, hey, basically, could you take something existing rather than putting together something brand new? And from what I can see, maybe, just ditching one of these jumping hours, and then you got 1 jumping hour instead of 2. So we'll see. Also, too, I said we'd prefer hand wound, and some people may be mad at me because they have this really beautiful mini rotor in there. But I thought, this is a. Anyway, also, too, I like the poster that Healer did with that. And while I was at it, I took another. Now this is from a Lang and Heim watch. This would be more like if we went with the Rolf Lang, that would be what we would have. Something along those lines. We had a really incredible finishing on the movement on the inside. But right now, from what I can see, we've got 3 really good options. One option, of course, is one we're hoping for, at least I am, and that's getting an Agenor movement. The second one would be getting that UWD 33.2, which would be really nice. And the other one, but there's I think only 5, and that would be the Rolf Lang. And that's, I think, a small seconds. But the other side of it is also really interesting. Okay, so what have you guys been up to? First of all, I know that Eddie went to the one with the Moser Malom talk. Did anybody else go, and what did you get out of it? Poor Mark in the corner. Yeah, I like the Van Cleef simple dial too. Rooter Droder, okay, geezer. Jesus. Oh, let's see. Anybody? Did anybody go to? Geezer, listen. Geezer, are you standing in for Clyde? We're waiting for Clyde. Oh man. Oh, there you go, Mark. There you are. We were talking about you earlier. I'll send an email, or unless you want to, send an email to Hoffman about your watch. Either way. Okay, I watched it today and was quite impressed. Yeah, the thing I like about Milan, he seems so utterly like he's the businessman. He's in it to make money, but he's not. He doesn't seem to be blowing smoke every time he turns around. He didn't mention the word passion once, which is, and also too, the best part was that he was standing right in front of this great big poster of the Icon watch, and then to make it even better, he had some parts of the Icon watch. I think he agreed to dismantle it, but he's still around. Anything else that you saw there, level 11? Okay, Mark, I'll see if I can get the email address for you. I've been picking up rocks for my sundial. All right. Is it not about the money? Is my passion? Yeah. It helps when you are not trying to sell snake oil. And that's something that's really true. If you got a really good product, it's a lot easier on you. Hi, Hans. How you doing? We're talking about the live Instagram live thing that Malin had today. Hey, GMT Master. Okay, he was such a good sense of humor. It is, yeah. Yeah. He's not. I don't know. He's just sort of like, when I talked to him in person, when I had that interview at Cellini's a couple months ago, same way. The guy is like, yeah, let's talk about watches. He loves watches too. And I told him, I said, I'd get more watches, but the old ball and chain. And he said, yeah, it's the same with me too. It was funny. He wants to run out and get something. His wife is enough. Uh, they are refreshing as a company. They really are. I can't believe that Swiss made and has a sapphire crystal are still selling points. Uh, they are to some, I guess. The very best ones, don't worry about it. To see if, let me check and see if my, yep, Swiss made. So it must be good. Let's see. I like he's a down to earth guy. Yeah, he admits that he likes brands other than his own. Other brands execs are so fixed on their brands and to pretend to like no other company. He says, "Yeah, I feel the same way." Um, I tell you who's also that way is Philippe Dufour. He wears his what is it? The Alanga um, datograph. He loves his datograph. He could be running around in a simplicity or duality and nothing else, but he's not that way. And I got a feeling that it would be very hard for Milan not to wear a Moser, and he did have on a Streamliner, but then he's standing right in front of the poster with the icon watch, and I thought that was so funny. But then some people started asking him about it and why he got rid of it. Oh, he said it was probably the wrong thing to do. I never thought that. I thought it was one of the coolest things he had, even better than the Swiss cheese or what was it? They had make Swiss great again, something, just poking fun at stuff. Or he had the plant watch. He was showing us that. Apparently, I guess Switzerland's having some kind of water shortage of some sort. I don't know. I think Tim Moser had a great take on it. They target mostly true enthusiasts that will keep their watches for a long time. Yeah, that's a good point. I have no intention of ever selling either one of my H Mosers. There's one I was thinking there was something I was going to trade it for, but and I just got another H Moser if I traded it. Is that watch with brown leather strap on your working desk behind you? Oh, this is the one I made. Yeah, these are my lilacs still. I have them. I better get some more. These are pooping out on me. Roger Smith's work. Yeah, that's right. But Val, the Rolex that Roger Smith wears that was, I think, the one that he wears. I'm pretty sure anyway. When George Daniels was trying to get someone to buy his coaxial escapement, he put it into several different watches, including a Rolex. And I would imagine that's the Rolex that Roger Smith wears. It was, it may not be, but that's pretty much what I'm assuming. Why wouldn't Roger Smith wear one of his own watches? Because I can understand that. Oddly, the idea that that they represent his work, and at $100,000 a pop, he'd take the 100,000 and take a trip over to off the island of Island of Right or the Isle of Man. But anyway, FP Journe, when I met him, Eddie and I were together at that thing in New York. He was really nice, very down to earth guy. Everyone said, "Oh, he's really, yeah, he's awful," and so on and so forth. Wasn't to me, and he wasn't to Eddie. He was really cool, and yet I doubt he would wear anything but a FP Jordan. Hey, Dwayne, how you doing? Uh, yeah, it's sort of like you should wear the watch you made. I should wear the watch I made. Now, okay, I'll have to set it and time it. I'll wind it up. Hi, Chi Town. How you doing? Hi, Fahrenheit. Philippe Dufour is a non-pretentious cheese and fondue eating Swiss mountain peasant. Yeah, he seems like a pretty cool guy, Fahrenheit. If you fix people's cars all day, then the last thing you want to do is fix your own. That's true. It's sort of like the cobbler's children have no shoes. That's been working on those all day. Yeah, I agree, Chaitown. That's a good analogy. I've always been a true enthusiast, but I still went through a whole load of watches before I found my sweet spot, and that's really like I think it's just all a part of the hobby and enjoying the journey. I agree, William. That's a great point. Um, really finding what you want. We don't know, like I never I never thought I'd end up liking the watches I did either. The first watch I got, and I like it, um, but it seems to be a little too delicate. And that's my Patek Philippe Calatrava. And the same with my Vacheron Constantin 1972. Wonderful watch. I love the watch. I like the looks of it, but I'm always a little worried that I'm going to bang it up somehow. Okay, 22. There we go. Boom. All right. What else is going on? Would rather buy would Bill rather buy a Rolex or start his own high horology watch? But no, I would buy a Rolex, Val. I really would. Starting my own watch company, I would not like to do that. It's you know, there's there's no way I'd want to. This is what's fun about this. We can all, this is something we're all going to do together. And, so we all sort of go through the experience of what it would be like. If someone has it in the back of their head, what they could do is, well, give it a try, see what it's like. But boy, I tell you, I don't know I think if I ever started a watch company, I probably wouldn't like it very much. Okay, there I got my watch on, Mark. Mark in the corner. Poor Mark in the corner. Uh Sports dress watch and dress watches. Yeah, same here. Um a Daniels modified Rolex, yeah. The fact that Roger Smith wears an Explorer is testament to Rolex movement engineering. Okay. Yeah. Um, yeah, that's no Rolexes that do have. I think they do have good engineering. They got excellent mass production facilities too. Rephrase the question: would Bill rather buy a non-Cellini Rolex or start his own? I'd buy an Air King. I would buy a sub. All right. I would buy any Rolex before starting my own company. No, no, no. This is the one I made. That's not the one. This is Now this was the last one I made that didn't break. It's got some problems, Mark. I wouldn't. This one is this one keep perfect time on if I lay it down here, and I haven't really tested it yet with all the different positions. Friend of mine is a watch dealer since 10 years and can't stand watches now. 98% of his client, 99% only want a Rolex. Yeah, I wouldn't mind having a Rolex dealership if I wanted to make money, but the idea of having, you know, the ideal kind of dealership, I think, and I wouldn't want it, but it would be ideal, would be Cellini's in New York on Park Avenue. And the reason for it, they have all of the really great brands. They have Wooten Lannen, Beauvais, Parmigiani, um, Gronfeld. Who else? I think they have well, I think they may have Van Cleef and Arpels. I'm not positive. You know, a watch. How many of you guys have seen that J12 by Chanel, the newer ones, the ones with the movement by I think it's Festini or Festine, not Festina, but some weird name that they and Tudor got together on. I almost bought one of those because I've been looking for a sports watch, and they have two. The white one are for women, the black ones are for guys. And I'm not crazy about black dials, but the the white ones are a little too I don't know, not quite the same. The straps are different and everything. But that's a watch though that I thought of. The one that they have another one called Monsieur Chanel, and that's a really cool watch too. And they have really good movements in them. Both of them do. And Chanel used to have, I think, was probably a Salida or ETA or something like that in them, just to get them through the day. But then they went into that company. Does anybody remember the name of it? Hi, Raj. Um, Raj, I don't know if they're a victim of their own success. I don't really consider them a victim. I think they have a successful business model and they execute that model. I don't know how much passion there is. This one guy that I met, who went through the Rolex training and so forth and is certified in it, really a good kid. And he, like Eddie, he did a really nice uh, job on a watch that he made as a school project. So I just see it as a watch company, a mechanical watch company that's very successful, and I think 99% of that success is not innovation; it's having a status symbol that people really like. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. People say, "Oh, well, I should want it because it's a really great watch." Okay, yeah, I want to do four because it's a really great watch. I can't afford it, and there aren't any available. Same with Roger Smith. I'd really like to have one, and so I try to find the best watch I can. And if it happens to be a Rolex, it'd be a Rolex. I feel that way because I like the Rolex print. Is that if we get away from, the other thing I think that really gets into people's way is that they want to know about resale value. There's this big lecture about resale value. Oh, it's going to lose resale value. A good watch never loses its value. It may lose the amount that you can resell it for, but that's not the watch's value. You can have a perfectly crappy watch that people want to buy again and again and again. Okay, that's what they do, but that's got nothing to do with they're easy to resell. It has nothing to do with their quality. I'm not talking about Rolex. I'm talking about any watch. I think Rolex has a pretty good watch. I really do, and they're a good tool watch, and they're good for what they are. I don't see it as a status symbol. but a lot of people do, and that's fine. What I see as a status symbol is something interesting, a really interesting watch, like that Cartier that happened to have the movement by THA. Have you ever seen the back of that? Or a Mont Blanc with a Minerva in it, one of the original Minerva, beautiful uh, bridges and so forth. But that's what I like. Other people, they love their Rolexes, and I think they should. I mean, because and they like to trade them, they like to swap them. They know all of the numbers, they know their history. I mean, that's the type of watch collection, and there's nothing wrong with that. Correct. Yeah, the 50/70. Yeah, it's a lot of different things will float your boat. To me, right now, the most exciting thing, the most exciting watch on horizon is the one we're working on. Because we got something that's fun to do. Nobody else has anything exactly like it. They throw in a small second, or they do this, or they do that. But man, I tell you, if we could get this thing, this will be so much fun. If we can't, we can't. But it's not because we didn't try. Most PEDX models have amazing value retention once you get over the initial 65% depreciation. I found out that my little Patek that I got some years ago has gone up a little in value, not much, but some. And it hasn't gone up in value. I'm sorry, it has gone up in price. It's the value hasn't changed. It's a neat little watch to begin with. It's got a great little movement in it. Winds up, it's hand wound, just the way I like it. Keeps perfect time, but it's delicate. I think it's delicate. I don't know. Maybe thing is as tough as this old guy right here, my hemispheres, and think it, take the knocks for the best of them. But yeah, All right, what's going on? Hey, Raj, most people buy Rolex because of their reputation, whereas most people buy a watch because of its innovation and outcome. I think a lot of collectors, I think the more people become collectors, I think the more they get into variety. I was looking at a Roger Dubuis today, and I was looking at it on a screen, and I opened it up and whipped out my magnifying glass and was able to read the number, the caliber number. And as soon as I read the caliber number, I knew what watch it was and things like that. Now that's sort of fun because you go from being from knowing a little about watch, the more you know, the more fun you can have. What's up with your VC America 1921? I haven't seen you wear it. Oh, I wear it. Yeah, I wear it a lot. I think I just had it on last week. Yeah, that thing. The thing about that watch is it looks big and heavy. Okay, it's made out of gold. It's like I'm wearing a big hunk of gold. It's not. That thing wears very, very light. It really does. And I don't know. I even realize I have it on half the time. And so it's a watch. It takes a long time to wind. If I have a complaint, it takes a long time to wind. But look what you got in your hand that you're winding, and that's sort of fun. So you have it in your hand more often. This one is the same way. I feel the same way about it, except instead of just a long wind on it, what I have instead is the different settings because it has. And it really makes life a lot easier. It has two night and day subdials. It's got a month, not a month, but a date window, and then it's got two dials. And it'll offset for India, for example, which I really think is important because this is essentially my travel watch. It's a dual timer and it's automatic, which, like I said, I'm a big hand wind freak. I guess it's, some of the reviews of the collections I've done, I've fallen in love with so many watches. I see this, I've never seen that before. What a neat watch. You know, it's whose was it? I think it was one of Rick's. Rick had this wonderful sequential collection of one good watch after another, and that was where I discovered that the Patek Philippe, that the somebody in the drafting room had done a mock-up of the dial, and it was so good that he decided to keep it. And it had this sort of hand done way of doing it. I mean, those things are fun. That's a lot more fun than, I don't know, arguing with somebody about a reference number. Uh, Mark in the corner, you get to come out of the corner for that. That's the reason. I think we're all nuts. We've got here we have an archaic technology, and then we're arguing about how accurate it is when, when we have a a computer or a phone or a smartwatch that has it perfectly. I think it is, but it's sort of that's what makes it fun. If it were totally rational, a lot of people keep trying to make it more rational. It's just fun. Oh boy. Okay, let's see. Hoping to get Aguilar movement with retrograde. That would be so cool. That would be so, man, I really hope so. But we're starting to get some really good. We're getting some very, very good. I mean, good quality of draftsmanship. This was one that I saw this, thought, man, this is great. The thing is that if we're going with an enamel dial, we're not going to have the guilloche on it, even though it's really cool. But maybe some people say, hey, look, I like guilloche on my watch, and I like it on this one. The other thing, let me see. I probably ought to, now that I have a color printer working, the lady with the mushrooms. Let me see if I can find it. This one, I got really busy. I was going to try this today, see what it looked like. And now that I have my color, I've had the color printer, finally got it working. The thing about it, this has lots of color to it. I know how to print it out in color. But just the idea to get the concept of something like that on a dial, using a sort of it looks like a transition between Art Nouveau and Art Deco. And this is stuff we can do that's a lot of fun, and interesting, as opposed to getting another X watch. Is to get one that's very rare. Talk about a limited edition. This is a rare edition. What if they did this? What would you guys think of this? After we went through all of this, we got the watch. We really liked it. We took it to the guy and had exactly the dial we want. We get that really cool case from Boot and Lannon and Kalen, and a bunch of us get it. Okay, so we got this thing. Hey, look at our watch. Next thing we know, we see them. They decided, hey, these guys liked it so much, and it's sort of fun. They they do the same exact watch, and I don't know. Maybe we'll say what's some brand that might do this. Jaja Lecoultre. We'll say Jaja Lecoultre made a deal with Aguilar and said, okay, we're going to slap an Aguilar in here, and we'll have a collaboration, and we'll do that. Since hey, we got this, we did all this work to get this movement. So hey, anybody else want it? And then make some watches. Like, here's an idea of what it looks like, and so they make a bunch like ours. I have no problem with that at all. Some people go, well, what about copyright? And what about this? And what about that? I don't care. This is for fun. Why would I care about that? Some people do, not me. Wouldn't it be cool if people in the group got at least one of each of the movements? Yeah, go ahead. That would be cool. I can afford one. I like the guilloche. Yeah, I like it too. I think I like enamel better though. Let's see. Yeah, Raj, your comment to Bruce is right. Yeah, he likes him. That's the way. That's the only reason you should buy a watch. I like the Air King. I was looking at Air Kings today, and people, Rolex owners will sort of look down their nose at you if you have a lowly Air King. I think Air Kings are great. Uh, yeah, it's if. Oh, I'll tell you what's fun. When we were at the Watch Time show in New York, all of us had different brands, including you were there, Bruce, and you had your Rolex. I think you had a Rolex, and we didn't care. I mean, it was like, oh wow, look at your watch. It was, and everybody enjoyed everybody else's watch. It wasn't like, um, yours is better than mine or mine's better. None of that. It was just like, just really enjoy, getting together and telling stories and you know, yeah, I had a lot of fun. I think that's the way to enjoy watches, though. A girl at a party once looked at my wrist and said, "Oh, it's not the green Rolex." No, you should have told her, Val. No, it's green with envy. Oh, let's see. Everyone in watches, yet no one knows the hour. Wait a minute. Oh, yeah, you're right. It's 4:42. I'm sorry, we went over. Hey, Fahrenheit incorporating a bit of oh, all right. To the Art Nouveau, Art Deco would be nice. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Here's this is the one that uh, I'll have the hands and the dial and the case, and then even the crown. I'll have it. I'll go see my lawyer. Uh, Old slip and fall Sue. She'll take care of it for me. The ultrasonic cleaner fluid. Oh yeah, it just came. So I'm going to go to work with that. Okay, we want to hear about that. Hi, Davey. H. Moser and Venture Concept has the best looking dial of all time. That's an amazing watch. Yeah, that was one of the ones that uh, uh, Edward Melon was showing us. And this Vanna Black. This is an amazing looking watch. I, it really is cool. It'll be the second best looking one after we get ours out. Let's see. Yeah, yeah, we did, Bruce. That was fun. Remember that? And everybody loved everybody else's watch, no matter what it was. And I think that was sort of the whole attitude of the whole everything we did there. And I think that's, you know, if somebody tried to show off like, well, mine's better than yours, they would have probably just ignored them. Anyway. Okay, guys, listen, got to run. Thank you all for coming. Everybody be safe. And like I said, if I don't hear by tomorrow, I'll shoot them another email and say something really nice. And I really would like to get this movement. If not, we better start negotiation with UWD. Anyway, take care, be safe, and hasta mañana.